Welcome to point 29. Thanks for joining me. Just checking out the Dorman replacement manifold, comparing it to the original that I removed. The original was leaking right at the secondary air injection port and making a lot of noise. Let me flip this up for you, and you can see on the secondary air injection tube, it's like two pieces that are sandwiched together, and not sure the type of weld, but it's apparently not very good. Here's a closer look at the seam. If you're not familiar with the secondary air injection system, there are two small blowers that force air in to the exhaust manifold during startup of the vehicle. So I bought the Dorman replacement because it's the only non-OEM replacement I could find. Overall, it looks pretty good. I got a little concerned because when I opened the box, it looked like there was some dents in it, but the original also has them, so that's part of the manufacturing process. This replacement manifold is about a third the cost of OEM. One thing I noticed though is, at least on this air injection tube, it's fully welded on the outside, which to me seems a lot better. Unlike the original, this flange for the air injection port is fully welded around the inside where it connects. Here's a quick look inside the original, right where it was leaking. Again, not sure how it was welded, but not very well. Here's a closer look at the welds inside of the flange. They don't look half bad for the price. So keep an eye on this flange where the exhaust connects to the manifold, and notice how that pipe comes into the flange. Compare that with the original, and do you see a difference in the two? So this turned out to be a bit of an issue because I didn't notice the difference until after I installed the manifold into the truck. This made it difficult to rectify, but I managed to do it with the help of a Dremel using a small cutoff wheel. So this is a big issue because the pipe from the catalytic converter that attaches to this flange has a 1/4 inch protrusion on it that the gasket sits on, and then it has to insert into the flange on this manifold. So in the bigger picture, you can see where I started cutting it with the older style cutoff wheels that Dremel has with the little screw. That was a pain in the butt and it didn't work. I went and spent $20 and bought the new style cutoff wheel. It has a quick release, it's much easier, does a better job. And you can see up in the smaller picture after I was done. And then you can see the catalytic converter pipe kind of just below there. So overall, I think it's still a good price. I wish I would have noticed on that flange and been able to trim it, before I installed it. The weld on the secondary air exchange tube is better on the Dorman than on the OEM version. And for me, that's what was leaking, so I like that. Would I buy it again? I think in my case, with just that flange area leaking, I would just take it out and weld it. If you have a different problem, then it may be worth it. I would just keep an eye on that flange where the pipe comes in and make sure you trim it first if you need to.